Hi and welcome to our latest video here at Footy Index Scout. Today we're going to look at two players who have suffered quite the fall from grace both in the index and in real life, Riyad Mahrez and Jamie Vardy. After last year's fairy tale season for both players and of course Leicester City as a whole, this season has turned into more of a nightmare. From league champions and everyone's second favourite team to the snakes who managed to get one of the nicest managers in the game mercilessly sacked in under 12 months. Of Leicester's three star players from last season, Vardy and Mahrez are the two who remained at the club despite both having offers to join bigger clubs. Vardy in particular seemed nailed on to join Arsenal but chose instead to stay with the Foxes. You have to wonder too how both teams' seasons would have played out if that had gone through. Meanwhile, Mahrez was linked with a host of top clubs, which also included Arsenal, but was the first of Leicester's big name players to commit to another season with the Foxes. Whilst there was never likely to be a repeat of last season's amazing turn of events, most people expected Ranieri to guide his troops to a fairly safe and still respectable mid-table finish, and along with this see his two key men perform to a standard that would again attract interest this coming summer. With that not happening, it has seen the value of both players drop to a very affordable price around the mid to low 80s. Both players have at times risen into the 90s, mainly due to their Champions League games, but on the whole both players can be picked up fairly cheap. So let's look at which of the two might be best for you to invest in for both the coming weeks and longer term into the summer. We'll start with Jamie Vardy. As a player with a number of buzz wins under his belt thanks in main to last season's explosive exploits, he has undoubtedly suffered the most from his terrific lack of form. Only a handful of goals and several below par performances have led many to question if Vardy is cut out for a move to a bigger team. However, with their most recent results suggesting both club and player could be back on form, this may mean retaining his England squad place at the very least. Vardy is also a very popular player with the media, and so a return to form of any kind should start to provide plenty of buzz points. And if Leicester continue to stay within a tight relegation battle, there should be lots of focus on them as the season draws to an end. One caution to keep in mind with Vardy is that despite recent weeks being much more positive, his price has actually remained relatively steady. Despite a brief high of 97p after his exploits versus Liverpool, he has since struggled to gain any kind of momentum. This is almost certainly down to traders being cautious due to Vardy's patchy form and relative lack of exposure. At a price of around 80p, we still think Vardy represents great value over the coming weeks and months. Up next is the aforementioned Champions League second leg, in which Leicester are very much in with a chance of turning around, with no doubt Vardy himself being key to that happening. We then have England internationals and of course a relegation battle to claw themselves away from. Let's move on to Mahrez. As much as Vardy's goals boosted Leicester to title glory last season, it was surely Riyad Mahrez who was a genuine difference to their fairy tale story, although of course it's now abundantly clear that Kante was the linchpin that kept their shoddy defence watertight. After his magical skills and some stunning goals, Mahrez looked destined for a move to one of Europe's top clubs. However, maybe down to loyalty or perhaps thinking he needed another season to prove himself to even bigger scouts, committed himself to another season at Leicester. But maybe as a sign of the team overall, Mahrez's form in the early part of the season seems to have set the tone for the weeks that followed. Looking like a shadow of his past season, people have questioned his attitude and work rate. So few and far between have been his magic and game-changing moments that we're struggling to recall even one. Ranieri evidently agreed and named Mahrez as someone who needed to do more for the team and prove his worth in training. Perhaps this was a big indicator of disharmony in the dressing room that led to the lovable Italian losing his job. Still, like Vardy, the past couple of games have seen a sharp increase in Mahrez's form and he's showing signs of influence in games once again. This is a key part of Mahrez's appeal on the index. His undoubted talent will surely bring out plenty of interest from clubs around Europe and indeed even inside the Premier League. Players with Mahrez's ability to dribble past players in tight areas is a much sought after commodity. Add to that his eye for the back of the net and it makes a player who, while still having a questionable attitude, is very desirable. With Leicester no longer having the draw of Champions League football, plus having paid his dues to the club, Mahrez is highly likely to move on in the summer. Teams like Spurs have been linked with him and teams like Arsenal will surely reignite their interest. Add into the equation that his transfer fee is not likely to be that extortionate in the current climate, and it adds up to lots and lots of those delicious transfer rumours. If a number of teams do battle over him, this could be quite a prolonged transfer too, which should deliver a fair number of buzz wins. So we asked you at the beginning of this video which of the two you would best to invest in. As we can see, both players have their advantages and it's hard to pick just one. Indeed, our poll on Twitter, with a nice big sample size, was equally as divided as the votes were split almost down the middle. Luckily, with both players reasonably priced on the Football Index, it's a worthwhile chance to pick up futures in each of them. They represent fairly low risk investments with the potential for both long and short term gains. Even if either player's price dips slightly in the short term, there are plenty of opportunities to turn a nice profit down the line. If we had to suggest one single player, we'd lean towards Mahrez, mainly for the almost guaranteed transfer speculation, as Vardy is unlikely to leave Leicester. But in the shorter term, perhaps Vardy is the more obvious choice due to England games and potential match-winning goals in important games. So there we go, hopefully you enjoyed this player comparison video and you find it helpful in deciding who to invest your money into. Let us know in the comments below who you favour of the two players and if they are on your watch list ready to purchase. As always, thanks so much for watching our latest video and we hope you enjoyed it. We'll be doing more player comparisons from the same club videos in the coming weeks and months, so let us know who you think we should be looking at. Remember to follow us on Twitter at Footy Index Scout. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and of course subscribe if you are new to the channel. Finally, check out our website footyindexscout.co.uk where you'll find all our articles, a full history of buzz winners with numerous stats, polls and loads more information. Thanks once again and we'll see you next time.